And see, this way people get to see the awkward bits and pieces behind setting something like this up. Um, right now we're at a black screen. That's good. It's always good.
It's not a blue screen to death.
All right, and we'll throw in a some display capture. No, screen capture. That's what I want. No, we don't want screen captures. We want. What do we want? Oh, I guess it is screen captures. That's weird.
This is Vexalia, and the our boy is Vaxeldan because they are brother and sister from the same litter.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And she's even got a little bandit mask, don't you? Yes, you do.
And we're just gonna do this for now. We're gonna do the cheap version. Also, are you on? Are you using your phone as your uh camera, Dustin?
Yeah, for now until I get an upgraded system.
Okay.
It once I have like certain things set up, it should be fine.
Yeah. Well, I was
I
gonna
gotta
say
get a new
also
pair of headphones.
for the for the stream, like once we get going or whatever, once we do the new campaign, uh, you can always just turn your phone sideways to do the
Box size.
yeah, that way. Yeah. So that way, um um we all have the same phone orientation, or camera orientation, I should say. And then it'll be easier for me to capture uh images or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have it set up a little bit better when I find.
You guys also,
There's
I
a
don't know
couple
if you
things.
guys. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say you guys can also all change your video backgrounds if you want by right clicking on your. Well, I think you all can. I don't know.
Yeah, you can.
Um, to do
Hmm.
to do custom ones, you have to upload or whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't know if you have to do Discord Nitro for like a month to be able to do that or
Yep.
something, or what. But at any rate,
I'm gonna get a green sheet in Hangover because this is my window.
yeah.
And get a green sheet to hang over it so it's not as funky when you do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
'Cause you can,
this still doesn't. Then it does come with integrated ones too.
Mhm.
Like you can, yeah,
Like
those,
that.
yeah, that's one of the integrated ones. The Mushroom Land one is an integrated one.
Mhm.
This one here.
Yeah.
We represent the lollipop
It's,
girl, the lollipop
it's great
girl.
when you're feeling dizzy.
Yeah, feeling dizzy because I get too many mushrooms, man. Okay. Anyway.
Jesse booted himself.
I did.
Oh no.
Not again.
Ah, hamburgers.
Did I do that? Okay. Fiery Grog. Fiery Grog. Where are you at, Fiery Grog? Hold on a second. I gotta figure out where Fiery Grog Tavern is.
It's in that one place with the stuff.
The thing and the thing and the stuff.
I'm helping. There we go.
Do. I didn't mess up. Done messed it.
You take Jesse down. Oh, please.
Hmm. Let's try here. I may have to go to DM's Guild real quick because I don't know where this save would be. So, oh wait, you know what? It's not on DM Skills. It's on Drive Through RPG. That's where it was.
Yeah.
So the thing that we're doing is both on Drive Through RPG. It's the one side of it is called Burning Goblins, and there are two different versions. There's an older version, which is I believe free to download if I remember right, or pay what you want, one of the two. And there's a newer version, which may also be pay what you want, but it's a paid version that you know like that. It's a longer, like more drawn out, like as if it's meant to be played as a more than a one shot.
Okay. I think
Mhm.
I think I have the original computer.
The the in the original Burning Goblins.
Yeah, yeah. I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
I've
I
got
have both, so, so
I have so many old modules. There was a friend of mine had bought I don't know hundreds, and he
on what
was
on
completely
Drive
getting
Through
out of
RPG and
everything.
that, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, I don't want them anymore. I was just gonna delete them. You want them? I'm like, sure.
Yep, yep. Oh no. How do I sign in? I already have an account. Okay, maybe I just gotta go log in. Go to login. There we are. Yay! I can do it. Shibada, shibada, shibadoo. Hey, we can do it. You'd be really old to catch that reference.
What?
That's a Chippendale Rescue Rangers reference.
Yeah. Rescue
It's Rangers. Yeah. I always laugh at. I don't know why I didn't pick this up when I was a kid, but it's it's Harrison Ford and Tom Selleck.
Yep. The Rescue Rangers. One is
Yeah.
Indiana Jones, and the other one is Magnum PI.
It's Magnum PI.
Yep.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so okay, so you make your way to the. We're gonna just kind of like roll into it a little bit. You make your way to the. Oh, you know what? For people who are tuning in or future people, hey, uh, uh, welcome to the thing. Welcome to my nightmare. No, no.
And
So
the stuff and the people.
and the people and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. So this is audition campaign one for or audition one for the new campaign, which does not have a name yet. um, you just have a premise and
Working
where we're
title.
going with it, and I've already kind of talked to you guys about the premise of what's going on. But this is just doing a kind of like a little bit of a one shot to kind of like see where we're at and kind of thing. So you guys, we're gonna say that Connor, you and you and Maven know each other, and Connor, are you the odd one, or is Maven? Maven, are you the odd one? Hold on one second.
Oh, I'm so odd.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, I guess that's a bad question to ask, right? Okay, so
Especially in this group.
it's a shorter list to know of what's normal. That's
That is 100% true.
It is.
okay, so one of you, well, you both, you both appear to be human. And you guys know each other as human, correct?
Correct.
Do one or the other of you know as of each other as anything other than that?
I would not have disclosed that information though.
Okay, so you guys know each other, and you guys have been kind of probably met each other on the road. And you are on your way here to learn about this thing because you feel like there's money to be had. You know, there's gold to be found, money to be had, and as you're approaching toward the the village of Green Fork, uh, in the southeast corner of the near the southeasternmost point of the Western Heartlands. Tucked into the northeast corner of a colony, little hamlet, stands a long, low wooden building, uh, well, made of fieldstone and blackened timbers. Like it's got a fieldstone foundation, and it goes about halfway up, and then the rest is like blackened timbers going up to the roof. A burnt wooden sign hangs over the entrance, and it shows like a mug engulfed in flames, and you can see a blue glow and a raucous laughter emanates from the inside of the place. There's a stern-faced, muscular half-orc standing by the entrance, obviously kind of guarding the place.
That
Well,
looks like a fun place to go.
well, I could make some coin here as I strum the loot that's sitting on the back of my along my back right now.
Um,
I think if we team up, we could.
Oh, I suppose. Let's
Fergal,
go and investigate.
Fergal, you have had an enormous amount of goblins traveling through your area recently, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't like you went to kind of go out and seek out new things and new life and new civilizations and boldly go where no Fairmog has
No,
gone before,
you're
that kind of
gone
thing.
before.
Yeah,
Yes.
and but where through your region, there's been this enormous amounts of goblins, and you thought, well, if people know how to deal with goblins, if your people don't really know how to deal with them so much, but you thought that maybe if you went into town here, like this nearby village, that maybe someone here would know better how to do that, and or tell you how you could, and
Could I ask a question?
yeah.
How big is this village?
The village is just basically a hamlet, like not even much of a hamlet, more like just like a thorp. It's probably about 10 buildings, 10 12
Sure.
buildings, and
And it's close to the forest. It's
it's
fairly
close. Yeah,
close.
it's close to the forest. Yeah, it's almost nestled in the forest. Now you do know that there is a larger town, uh,
Mhm.
about a day, well, not even a day, but about a half a day's ride north. Um,
See.
and there's a lake by this town too. So you thought that if nothing else, you could stop at the lake, get some fresh water. Get if you eat fish, you could fish. It's good for fishing. Um, but that kind of thing, and you decide that you're gonna head into town here, and you see this same blue glow emanating from one of the buildings.
See. And when I look around, I'm in this. Here is this is the crowd other than the orc slash half orc over there? Is everybody human that I can tell?
You're outside right now, so
Okay. Okay.
you see two humans going toward the tavern, but
I
you
see.
you also see the big orc guy out front.
Okay. So I'd be kind of wide-eyed. I'm looking around, taking everything in, and I see the half orc and the two humans, and the humans are walking towards the tavern. So I'm going to walk up with them to them and say, "Well, hello, gentlemen. I'm looking for some information about this town. Do you guys do you live here?"
Honestly, I was just passing through. However, we were about to stop in for a drink and potentially collect a little coin while we're at it. So
Coin.
really,
Yes.
nothing better than a tavern to collect information, I find.
It's very true.
Yes. Well, would you mind if I joined you?
That would be up to my estranged friend here. Me, I don't mind. But
I'd do a quick insight check to see if this guy is up to snuff.
On who? The The Fergal
The
guy?
Me.
purple. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he is the most. It's the first one.
Yeah, yeah.
The most trustworthy person I've ever met. So yeah,
We'll throw in another
sure.
screen capture
Come join us.
there.
And just to describe, maybe we could get some descriptions of the characters. At this point, Fergal is about 6 foot tall, but he's super lanky. Looks very young. Got a
I'm gonna change
mop
this on
of
here.
curly, like chocolate brown hair. The only thing that you kind of notice different about him is that he's kind of got a wide, almost deer-like nose, elk ears that are constantly twitching, and small little antlers sticking out of his hair that have two prongs on them.
It's intriguing. Connor usually has shorter, uh, dirty blonde hair, very clean shaved, um, kind of plain attire that he's wearing. It almost seems like easily you can look at him and not notice him. It doesn't exactly stand out. He has a loot strapped to his back and then just a dagger in his holster. Very bright blue eyes and a very charming smile at that.
Okay.
Well, if you notice, we share the same color eyes as each other. I have light brown hair, full beard, mustache, very well trimmed beard, but he's fairly nondescript. He could kind of blend in with everything. Not very tall. He's about 5'10", average height, average build. But at any and every point you can see he has a dagger tucked in somewhere, plus a rapier.
Good.
So we could really be just twins.
Really?
Yeah, Fergal is fairly large size, but for being fairly large size, he looks like a stiff breeze could blow him over. So
One of my best friends, he's 7 feet tall and weighs about 4 pounds. So I understand. I get the visual.
yeah.
So as you guys approach the tavern, you see the half orc. He kind of grimaces and he says, "Don't start trouble." He says, "There's a zero tolerance policy on attacking patrons with weapons or spells." He says, "If you want to fight, use your fists and take it outside."
Why would anyone want to fight, good sir?
He says,
I'm more of a lover than a fighter.
he says, "I will let you probably get away with it if you just use your fists inside the tavern, but I'd rather you just not fight."
Do I look like the kind that likes to start trouble? I'm just a simple musician, storyteller that's just around to make a copper or two.
You notice he's kind of intent on a book in his hands, and like he's reading some sort of book, and he like looks up when you say that, and he says, "No, I suppose not, but been my experience that musicians generally are the ones that start the most trouble." And he goes back to his book, and he's looking at his book and just reading intently.
Can I pick up what the name of the book is?
No, because it's open, and so the name of the book would be on the binder or on the cover, and it would be face
Gotcha.
down. How tall are you?
About 5'10".
Yeah, if you wanted to look like kind of like lean down and look, I suppose you could.
I will sleight of hand drop something and then go down to, oops, pick it up and glance and see what it is.
Okay.
Fergal will almost bend down to help you pick it up, and then realize he might hit you in the head with antlers and back up.
All right, give me a yeah. Yep. Okay.
How's that?
Nice. Okay, and then give me a perception check as far as to
A performance? Gotcha.
no perception
Oh, perception. Gotcha.
to notice what the cover says or whatever.
Oh, I'm just intent on picking up whatever I was trying to drop.
Yeah. Apparently. So you do notice that the cover says something like Arcanum. Other than that, you're not 100% sure.
Perfect.
Oh, what's reading that, big guy? From my experience, I haven't seen many orcs do a lot of light reading, so
He looks at you and he's like, I gotta give you that one, I guess. He says, yeah, it's not light reading at all. It's heavy reading for sure. He says, but it's it's this book of magical theory. I'm having trouble grasping certain things, but I'm getting there.
Are you a wizard?
He says, well, then he kind of smiles and he says, I'm a bouncer.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds important.
He's an amateur.
basically, what that means is if somebody causes trouble within the tavern, he bounces them out of the tavern.
He says, I'm trying to be a wizard. I hate this job, but, it pays the bills.
But
People automatically assume if you're a half orc and you're huge that you're good at guarding stuff. So
You're just big and dumb, is what they say.
exactly, you get the idea. Yeah,
I get it.
I'm sure you're very good at your job, but you would also be a very good wizard.
he says,
You can do whatever
will
you
be
put
someday.
your mind to. Good for you.
He says, and besides, Toftir doesn't mind if I read on the job. He figures that just me being here, standing outside, is enough to, make people
Thwart off.
give people second glance at thinking about doing stuff. Second thoughts.
That's
oh,
true.
I agree. My arse was quite clenched approaching you. So
You are a very imposing figure. You cut a swath of imposing.
You're like, just big boned. So he kind of smiles. Any kind of like it goes back to his reading, and he's back like intently studying, but he kind of like you see him like absently reach over and push the door open for you guys.
I think
you,
it's
sir.
And you guys take it as a welcome gesture, as you can tell this guy probably does not open the door for everyone.
Thank you, sir. Good reading.
He says,
Thank you,
yep.
good
He says,
I give a very flamboyant bow to him and over dramatic and walk on in.
he says,
Soon you'll be able to open that door with magic.
he says, yeah, hopefully. And then he says, have a nice time, fellas, and you close the door behind you. And when you guys get inside, you notice the tavern is packed, nearly full, with loud, drunken labor workers. Most of them dwarves. There's some mercenaries, sailors. They take a spot along the bar or the counter, or many sit on the wooden tables, scattered across the flagstone floor. There's
What
alcoves.
is the time of day?
It is late evening. It is basically dark outside. There's alcoves carved into the western wall that have booths, and there's weathered purple curtains for visual privacy. Though they do nothing to block out noise, obviously. Many eyes are turned toward a large water tank in the center of the room. You can see that here. Inside that water tank is also the different lights and the glowing blue. In the water tank, there is a female merfolk gracefully ribbon dancing in a illuminated water tank. The blue light that fills the room emanates from drift globes that softly float along the ceiling and in the tank. The ceiling is covered by a vast painting, basically all across the roof, or all across the ceiling. It's a small fishing village racked by a terrible storm, and there's strange alien creatures rising out from the water.
Wait, the strange alien creatures are rising out from which water? What water?
The ceiling water.
There's
Ceiling.
a painting on the
ceiling
ceiling.
fresco.
Yeah,
I see. Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's the painting is a small fishing village racked by a terrible storm with different like alien creatures coming up out of the water. They look like, for lack of a better term, alien, but you would say like fish, perhaps like fish people, maybe, or maybe a
Fergal is
cross between fish and lizard people.
Fergal is wide-eyed trying to take it in, but you can see his ears are twitching very fast, and so is his nose, because he is assaulted by smells that he has never before smelled.
I lean over. I lean over to my traveling companion. I'm like, this is by far the weirdest tavern I think we've ever been in.
I'm glad you said that,
I,
because I was thinking that maybe all taverns were like this.
You guys,
no, I absolutely agree with him. This is by far the strangest thing I have seen in a long time.
Do all taverns have a fish lady?
No, no.
of course.
A lot of taverns have a fishy smell, but
I can smell that. I can smell that.
keep that to yourself, though.
You see several patrons in the tavern. Um, Besides like the miners and the workers, you see several like kind of out of towner types like yourselves. And over on the bar, walking back and forth along the bar, is a rather small gnome, and he is chatting up patrons behind the up by the bar and over at the eastern wall as well. You see two signs hung up on the eastern wall. One says, "Ask about our fiery grog." Oh, actually, no. Sorry, I take that back. It says, "Ask about our fiery grog challenge," and the other one says, "Wanted, monster exterminators." And it's more of a poster rather than a sign.
That's at the bar or near the bar?
Yeah. They're on the eastern wall,
Okay.
behind the bar, basically.
I-
And the gnome is where?
Yeah. He is right there. Yep.
Ah, I see.
You'll also notice that as you're looking around, you guys are kind of like taking in the sights. There's a lot to see for this bar is especially busy for being out in the middle of nowhere, and not that Fergal would be that knowledgeable of it anyways, but it's especially intense for him. But hang on one second, I have somebody knocking. Of course, there's always a knock at the
Oh.
tub.
us is level 3 and 2 of us are level 1. So,
Well, I should have left that going while I was.
do you want us to bounce up to 3, or do you want us to? Yeah, it's up
No,
to
you
you.
guys should have been level 1. That's fine.
Yeah, I couldn't remember because I know you were waffling between doing
Well,
level 1 or level 3 for the thing, and last I heard was
Yeah,
level
so
3.
so the idea was that that's for the campaign. So it'll be between 1
Sure.
and 3 at the start for the campaign. But for this, it would just been 1, but it don't matter.
Well, you got a level 3.
3 works
rogue,
better in a way because then you could do something else, but that's not a one shot either. So. But anyways, okay. So yeah, at any rate, you guys are taking it all in. You guys notice also a wary elven woman toward the back of the bar, like this way over here. Whoop! Now she's standing on somebody.
like you do.
Yeah, and she is essentially arm wrestling with various customers, but she is there's several people watching her. By the way, there's just like people standing around, kind of like, and even the people at the other table are like looking over and chanting and cheering. But she is using a mage hand to arm wrestle with. She's like obviously a wizard of some sort or a scholar of some sort, but she's arm wrestling people with a mage hand, and she's winning like most of the time.
Oh, I'd like to see that woman arm wrestle our orc friend outside.
Right?
3. We could get a wager going for it. Might be able to make some quick coin out of it.
That's
Wait.
true.
I have some acorns.
So you guys are
Not the coin I was thinking of,
Not
buddy,
the
but
coin.
nice try.
It's close.
so as you guys
Good
are
berries,
standing
maybe.
by the door, kind of like kind of milling about a little bit. The gnome on the counter yells over at you. He says, new patrons. He says, here you are. He says, come up to me bar and have a drink on us.
Can I read the poster that says "Ask about the fire,"
The fiery
Challenge?
the fiery grog challenge. Yeah.
and then I look at my wide eyes look at that, and then look at the little gnome, and it
And-
says,
And you remembered
"What
also.
about the fire grog challenge?"
Okay, he says, "Oh yes, it's my favorite brew." And he says, "One moment." And he says, yells something at the cook behind him, and you see this guy in a chef's apron type thing. He goes in a cook's apron. He grabs a ladle of this viscous, dark-colored liquid and pours it into a tankard and hands it to the gnome, and the gnome like slams it on the counter in front of you with a little bit spilling over, and you could have swear it was burning into the counter a little bit, and then he takes in and he does like a little cantrip, and the top of the mug just like bursts into flames, and it's like on fire right now.
Oof! I love the fire.
You got it, big guy. Go right ahead. You enjoy that.
Is this like clover honey?
And he says, "Welcome to the fiery grog. Name's Toftir Duflame."
Off tier. Name's Fergal Sengrain, and I'll take the. Is it in a glass? Is it in?
Yeah, it's in a mug.
It's a
in a
wooden.
mug.
It's like a wooden tankard. Yeah, it's like a wooden mug.
It's a wooden tankard. Okay,
Yep.
I'll take the wooden tankard and take a big drink of this.
All right, give me
Okay.
a Constitution check.
Chug.
Only DC 10.
Okay.
You notice that the cook is huge. He's like close to 8 foot tall. He's got these lumps all over his body, and he's got these like striations down him. You've never seen anything like this guy, other than what you would think is like a giant, maybe. But he's pretty small for a giant. You guys, um, Maven, and Connor would have recognized this guy as a Goliath.
Would it
He's
be?
a lot bigger than the one outside, isn't he?
Just a tad. This is a tall
Yeah.
drink of water.
Okay, so
I
you
didn't
Constitution
realize that was
16.
your thing.
Okay, you can you drink and you taste a spiced rum as well as a multitude of other ingredients. It's very earthy to you, and you kind of enjoy it because of the idea that it has that earthiness, and which you're used to being a furball type,
Hmm.
and it's actually not too bad.
I'll just take it and drink the rest of it and just chug the whole thing down and be like, that is
There you go.
wonderfully
And he keels
refreshing.
over.
And he says
Smack right on the back
he
just as he finishes it.
Toftier says, um, two more of those and you drink free for the rest of the night. And
Ooh.
he slams another one down and poof, it's on fire again. And
Oh, I'll try that again.
says-
That was very.
he says, hey, he says, and anyone who can hold three grogs is gonna need a free rest too. So we'll put you up for the night as well.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. I'm going to take another drink of that and then I assume roll
Yep,
another
another
constitution check.
Constitution check. This time DC 12.
Okay. Sorry, it's taking. Not sure.
Taking its sweet time.
Yes. There we go.
I'll whisper to
It's and then 42 rolls will come up.
Right.
I just made it. This one, you have no trouble with, but this time it might have a little bit of a bitter smell and a bitter taste to it than what you were used to. It kind of makes you a little queasy the second time around.
Tankard must not have been washed properly. That's what it was.
My ears are twitching.
And
Faster.
before you can even realize what's going on, the Goliath cook slams down the third one.
Friend, I think your antlers are growing.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. I'm really hoping to get a third point here pretty soon.
yeah, you're starting to get one, but it seems to be uneven. You got 3 on one side, 2 on the other. It's just a mismatch here.
Well, maybe I should try another drink then.
Have at it, buddy.
Go
All
for
right.
it.
I'm gonna take another big swig of the drink that he put down.
I'll whisper at Maven. Any promising
Oh shit!
stories here?
Okay, the next one you begin sputtering, and
Timber.
eventually spit out and or vomit, like the grog and maybe essentially whatever you drank before that.
A bunch of acorns.
And he says, oh, me lad, well, no free drinks for the night. He says, but he says, I'll tell you what, I'll give you those 3 for free. He says, it looks like you earned it.
Oh,
he says, so what can I do for you? You look from out of town. You must have heard about the goblins.
Fergal perks up at the goblins and his eyes focus momentarily again. Oh, goblins are all over my people's village.
He says, they seem to be all over everywhere these days. And he says, and not the good kind you want around either. And
I met a few in my day.
and he points toward the back of the bar and over. He says over there's the mayor, and he's talking to the millers. And you see back toward this way, where with one of the booths with the privacy curtains, and the privacy curtains kind of drawn apart. You see a man and his wife, and the wife is clearly grieving. Um, and the man is kind of like trying his best to comfort her, and the mayor is there, kind of trying to kind of console them both a little bit. Um, and the mayor looks around and you know he sees he's like kind of talking to other patrons every once in a while, but he's kind of like looking around to see if anybody's coming yet, like he's waiting for somebody.
To answer your question, I think anyone who's been trying the arm wrestling contest would be ripe.
Virgil's just hiccuping in the corner.
Maybe we'll do a little karaoke, we'll call it, at some
Well,
point.
set up over at this table.
Is that another drink?
I'll take a seat.
Karaoke,
Yes,
is that karaoke
it's
another
a
drink?
drink, but yeah, it's where everyone drinks and dances. And some people sing along to something they have no idea how to sing along to, but it's all fun.
Sounds like a wonderful tradition.
Okay, so
Please.
you guys, Maven, you see Maven walk across the bar, past the doors, to the nearest table by the door. Um, you kind of, I would say, for Fergal, since you're not as worldly, you haven't been out and about out of the woods that much, I would imagine. So I think for Connor, you kind of think that Maven has set up there by the door specifically on purpose. Like you might have an idea that, being who you are, Connor, you think in your head that probably he's looking for a quick exit if he needs it.
Mm.
I'll
Now,
give it a little
I
nod.
I don't know that Maven is actually going for a quick exit, but I think that's what Connor might think something along those lines, right?
I'll drum pass as if I'm looking at the mermaid dancing around with her ribbon or during her show. Whisper back to him, "What's piqued your interest?"
I wanted to better survey the area, see if I can listen into that conversation with the mayor and his wife without trying to look like I'm listening, and then keeping an eye on those folk up here, up at the top left of where the gal is dancing in the water.
Well, you're doing it all wrong, and I'll kick the chair out. Sit down. I'll grab us a drink, and we can, you can survey that way. You're drawing too much attention to yourself.
I thought I was sitting in a chair. Isn't that a chair right there?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Virgil will pull out a chair and sit there too, but he's going to be head in the air, sniffing like he's looking around the whole establishment with his nose.
Okay.
I'll grab us 2 ale. One for me, one for Maven. And then I'm going to sit down right at this point here. So my back is towards the mayor and his wife, but I can still listen intently and keep an eye on the door just in case.
Okay. You do overhear. That was Maven that was trying to
You
listen.
fill up your chair.
Okay, so Maven, you do overhear. You hear, "We're doing all we can do, Jen. It's just a matter of time now. It's a matter of patience. You've got to keep a good hope." And you hear, "That's right, dear. She should be home any time. I'm sure it's just a matter of moments. Perhaps she just got lost." And you hear the woman kind of exclaim, "But what about the goblin tracks? Some say they seen goblins, and say they took sheep. Of course, our little Jenny's gone."
In Thieves'
Okay.
sign
Yeah.
Thieves
to
can't.
you, I say kidnap.
I do the signs where I agree. Maybe maybe coin involved.
Are you two wizards too?
Play cards if we play our cards right.
You make an insight check, Fergal.
Okay. Let's see.
And I will also then say back, I have an idea, follow along with it, and it involves that one. And I give a quick little point towards the Fergal.
Okay. Hang on. Inside. Do it.
You got an insight?
I'm getting there. Let's see. I think I.
Trying to find it.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
It's a lovely sheet. Okay, 18. Okay,
Oh, nice.
you. At first, you think they're playing some sort of rock paper scissors type game, and then you realize that they're communicating with each other.
Boulder parchment shears. Thank you very
You know,
much.
you realize it's not that they're wizards; it's that they're doing some kind of a nonverbal communication.
Okay.
I will say though that you might think that this is how people normally communicate out in the world. You know, like
Is this? Are you speaking this way because it's loud?
It sometimes can be very hard to hear. So me and Maven have our own little way of talking. We've done it since we were children.
I see. We have similar traditions as well.
Good.
We were just discussing from what we could overhear about the mayor and his wife. There was something going along with the goblins and their daughter. There's a good chance we could
We didn't have
maybe do
goblins.
some good and
We don't-
investigate more goblin activity for you.
That's why I'm here. We need some help. We need help with the goblins. We didn't have goblins before, and now they're everywhere. I've been sent to find more people to figure out how we can keep them out of our village.
Well, then this is perfect. You're looking for them. They're looking for their daughter who may have been taken by them. And we are just here to
Help in
help
any way we can.
everyone. Exactly.
Uh,
And
Fergal
in a
is
serendipitous turn. I know goblin. It's one of my languages.
Fergal is not wise to the world, but he's not stupid, so he's going to do an insight check on this.
what about whether he knows Goblin or whether they're
No, about
whether they're out to help everybody. Okay, go
whether
ahead.
they're actually out here to help people with goblins.
Okay, go ahead.
We didn't say goblins.
Give me an
We
insight
said to
check.
help.
Just to help everybody.
Well,
We are the most
You-
trustworthy people you have ever met.
you think
the fire wine is the grog. The fire grog
think-
is still coursing through his veins.
you
He's
think
just,
you think to yourself, I
this was
I
easy.
cannot believe my good fortune to run into such worthwhile, helpful people.
The elders said that this would be a dangerous, scary world, but I haven't seen any evidence of that whatsoever.
I will just follow along with what I do and say, and we'll be able to help along with this, all right?
All right. So
Yes, we'll eventually teach you.
you guys make me a well, here, let me put Fergal over by there. Make me a wisdom saving throw, DC 15.
Saving throw. Oof. Oof.
All right. So Connor and Fergal, you catch this alluring teal-colored merfolk with this wavy red head fin in the middle performing this ribbon dance. You notice she's wearing a seashell necklace, and you guys are just compelled, like you guys just want to give her coins.
I had some.
So as you're going to think about talking to the mayor, you see Fergal and Connor kind of enwrapped in the idea of they're going to walk up to this mermaid tank and drop coins in or whatever.
Sleight of hand, I take Connor's coin purse.
Go ahead and give it. Go ahead and do a sleight of hand check here. No. Another. Wait. Are you setting that up to you roll nat 20s? It was 29 and two times in a
All
row.
the time. Every time, not 20.
I don't have any acorns anymore, even.
Okay. And then up to you guys how many coins you want to give him, except for Connor, who gets up there and realizes, oh, I must have left my coin purse elsewhere. And then about the time
my
you're
other
realizing
pants.
about the time you're realizing that, Connor, you kind of just snap out of it, like, wait, what am I doing? Like Fergal, it would be up to you how many coins you would leave up there. You probably a few coppers at least, but
Yeah, I think he would just take out a small handful of coppers and just dump it over
uh, after her performance is over, she touches her necklace, and then her tail turns into like humanoid legs, and she gets out of the tank.
Can I? Is there a type of check after I realize what just happened? Is there a check I could potentially do to being
Yeah,
a little
go ahead.
schemer myself
Uh,
to
do what now? To
acknowledge that she just did some sort of
Yeah,
trickery.
you can make an insight check to see if you realize that you were charmed at all, or
Chicanery check.
Nope, not a clue.
there.
yeah you know something went down to some degree, but you're not 100% sure what. You can't like quite place your finger on it, kind of thing.
I don't. Oh, okay.
Are you guys going to approach the mayor?
Yes, I have. I would like to do this. Now. Furbo, is it right?
Fergal?
My apologies. I'm
That's all right.
terrible with names sometimes.
It's-
Okay, come with me for a moment.
Sure, okay.
I'm gonna drag him across.
Oh, you're good for so fast.
Okay.
Come.
I'll go with him.
All right.
Just be quiet and nod along with what I say. All right. Excuse me, ma'am, lovely madam. How are you this fine evening?
He says,
Fergal's just
"Oh."
nodding like an idiot.
He says, "Oh, we're okay, I suppose. We've been a bit better, but well, you see, uh, uh, the mayor here is helping us. Our daughter has been taken."
I couldn't help but overhear that. Apologies, I was not trying to eavesdrop on your conversation. However, it did spark some sort of interest, and I couldn't help it. Uh, I've heard your predicament, and this fine gentleman that stands next to me here is a lovely friend of mine. They are phenomenal at tracking down any and all individuals if you just so kindly need it. They are also very intent on hunting and slaying goblins. They're actually quite good at it itself. So if you are worried that she has been taken, fear not. This lovely individual will find her, and with my assistance and my companion's assistance, as I pointed Mavis, Maven, we will happily track her down and find her for you.
The mayor says, you see, I told you it was only a matter of time. She is not necessarily taken. She has gone missing, and well, you see, we don't have much here in the town treasury, but I am prepared to offer you uh, somewhat substantial amount of gold to go and retrieve her.
Hmm.
If you can
Well,
find her whereabouts and he says and bring her back, then I can give you 50 gold. And he
oh,
kind of like walks to the side. He says
What?
don't worry, I'll take care of this. And he like waves toward the millers, and he kind of waves them off, and he kind of walks over like away from them with you, and he says, should you find happen to find her in not so good condition, let's say, you'll still get the 50 gold, but just please bring it back to us and break it to us gently.
I am a master of my words. I will find a simple and yet very gentle way of breaking the news if we so happen to find her in that unfortunate condition. And I'll have like my arm over his like neck and shoulder area to whisper in close.
He says,
We will do
you see,
right.
there's been a problem. There have been a number of goblins stealing livestock recently, and it is believed that one of the villagers has seen the goblins take the girl when she was out playing in the field.
Right. Does this villager know? Could this villager point us in the correct direction, just so that way it would help narrow our search down for a lovely antlered friend over here?
he says, well, there are the sunset, uh, the Sunset Mountains to the east, and the woods on the way to them is where they seen them take them. Uh, he says, I imagine that if you go through the foothills into the mountains, that is where you'll find the goblins.
See, I see. Well, let me confirm with my fellow companions, and I don't think it would be much of a problem for 50 gold. I think that should suffice enough as a compensation for the usage of our time and expertise.
Fergal, you do that, like when you hear the mayor saying this too, that all tracks with you. Like you think you've seen the goblins mostly near the foothills, and your village is just just northeast of here toward the mountains, and uh, like kind of nestled near the foothills near an old burnt out elven village called Canthamar.
Hmm. Okay. Fergal will continue nodding as he was told. When you said that there would be somebody who could help track and kill goblins, he would have looked around to find that person.
Mm. uh, Maeve, would you speak the gobblish tongue, correct?
Dude.
So do you know the habits of goblins in such case? Like, are they more nocturnal, or are they more of daylight individuals?
DM, do you, because they can be either way. Are you running them a certain way in this, or
No, they are you know they're they're generally lean toward twilight, evening, late hours because of the idea that they have the dark vision, but
Fergal,
they're not
who
impeded in
was
the
next
daytime
in
at all.
minutes.
Mhm.
So they are out in the daytime too, just usually less so. They're less active.
Sure.
Fergal chimes in. They mostly come out at night. Mostly.
Well, I think
Nice.
the best bet that we could do, this is my idea, anyone else could have a better one. This is just a quick little tidbit of an opinion. We rest, and bright early in the morning we start our search when they're less active. I don't know about you all, but I cannot see very well in the dark, and I feel a lantern or torch of some kind might give us away.
Oh, the elders said that about humans. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
That
And
is a good plan.
the mayor kind of still kind of like hanging around and overhearing some of this. He says the town provisioners will provide you with small items, but we haven't much. He says if you need any true supplies, you would need to go half a day's ride north. He says, and of course you can know that time is of the essence. I believe.
Excellent. We will do we will put as much expediency on this as we can.
And then he kind of like turns away from you, and he kind of nods, and he walks back over toward the miller and his wife, and begins talking to them some more, consoling them and comforting them, letting them know that these hardy adventurers are going to, take on the mantle and blah blah blah. A lot of political speech. Vote for me next time. That kind of. Yeah. Um,
Quick aside, guys, if I have to step away for just briefly, we're having a massive thunderstorm go through right now, so just letting you know.
all right. Yep.
We just had tornadoes.
That's great.
Oh, fun. I don't have to deal with the tornadoes.
Yeah.
So you guys gonna
I
head
used to
out?
have to deal with them for a living.
Are you guys going to head out now, like in the at nighttime, or are you guys going to take a rest and wait till the morning?
I think we were going to take a rest.
Yeah,
Take a rest, okay, and head out in the daytime. Okay.
correct.
You guys do a rest at the inn if you want. It is it's 5 silver for a room.
Okay.
There are several rooms available, and we can even throw you in one upstairs. Like there you go. There's rooms here and here and here or whatever. Or you can share one. It don't matter, regardless. At any rate, so um, uh, you guys do anything in the morning special, like before you head out?
A quick breakfast and a quick bite to eat, and on our way.
Okay.
Fergal has a little bit of meditation in the morning where he just is, it's not really praying, but meditating to the nature gods that his village.
Surprisingly enough, when you come down in the morning, the innkeeper has breakfast ready for you guys. Like has some eggs and meat and bacon and that kind of thing, and some fresh greens and stuff like that. And essentially, you guys are basically given the breakfast for free and given and you're refunded the 5 silver for the room as well. And Tofdeer's there saying, he's looking a little bit, weary and like sleepy, but he's up and around, and he's kind of sitting on the counter now, not as animated as he once was, and he's just kind of like drinking like something in a mug and saying, the mayor told me you guys were helping out with the girl. He says the room's on me, and
Why, thank you.
he says if there's anything you need, don't hesitate to ask.
Oh, I thank you, Toftier. Minor supplies. Who's the best person we should run into to acquire anything such as that?
Okay.
Maybe some extra daggers or something to help us fight them off if we need to.
He says, well, there is a blacksmith in town, but I don't know that I think he's the best at what he does. But I mean, he can make you any kind of regular weapon you can think of. He says, but that one over there, and you see a dwarf who's looks like he's passed out of the table from the night before, and he's carrying a big double axe on his back and like a double bladed battle axe, and he's got an axe in his hand. He's sleeping with an axe in his hand, and on one side, and he's got a pick, like a pickaxe, like laying across his lap, and you can see he's clearly fell asleep with the other hand on a mug on the table.
Why don't you
Charming.
refill that mug for us and wake him that way?
This is a real dwarf.
Okay, he goes over there. You see him. He climbs up on the chair, then climbs up on the table, pours some drink into the mug, and he says, "Durkan!" And he kicks him in the head. And he goes, hey, what is the meaning of this? He says, oh, oh, it's, thank you for waking me. I didn't realize I didn't finish my drink. And he drinks it up. He says, well, bright and early, I think I need to get to work. And he, like, stands up.
What
He,
is it
like,
that you
looks,
do for work, Durka?
he says, I like to mine.
Oh, you're a miner. Are you heading up to the what was the mountains again that you said were east of here?
The
So
sun
he said,
sets
no.
to the east, yeah, I am, as a matter of fact. He says, but there's a little known, well, uh, it's not a claim yet, but I imagine it will be soon.
Well, we're headed that way here shortly. We are looking. We are actually tasked with looking for the little girl that was taken. Um, so we were gonna venture out that direction. Would you mind the company? Just you know, a
He
little
says,
extra safety in numbers, correct?
he says, I suppose, he says, I don't really like company, but, I suppose if there's a little girl that's missing, I can't have that on me conscience.
Wonderful. Then it's set. Let us all traverse together on the way.
We do or don't have to whistle on our way.
What a great group of friends.
If you whistle, Durkan holds his head and says, oh.
The four best friends that anyone could have.
I'll just pull the lute out and strum a little bit of a softer music going to help relieve.
There,
Fergal will pull out his horn. He has a horn at his side that is it makes he blows it gently, but it makes some very strange, high pitched bugling sounds, like it's
Durkan looks at you all strangely and kind of like, we're not even working yet.
always time for music.
And
Durkan, we're always working.
he says,
Strum.
he says, that's what I like to hear, me boy. And he slaps you on the shoulder like really hard, like it jars you a little, And so you guys, head off into the woods. You guys are probably trekking through the woods, probably an hour or so before you start reaching the foothills. Were you guys? Sorry, were you gonna, Connor? Was you gonna say something, Dustin?
No, no, no.
Oh, okay. I
No,
thought you were gonna
no.
interject about something. Okay. Um, trekking through the woods, you weave your way through vast trees and grasping undergrowth. The forest is ancient and kind of wild where you're at here. The canopy overhead blocks out most of the sun's light. You hear the brooding calls of far off birds, but you don't hear much else in the way of forest sounds. Fergal, you're aware that that's because the goblins, where they've been going through, like they've been basically, like driving wildlife toward your village, which is good in some ways, but just out of their areas. Like, um, uh,
The forest is angry that day, my friends, like an old man trying to return soup at a deli.
you see this.
Just try the soup.
You guys have been following this trail like easily followable. Like it's
Well-worn path.
yeah, it's a disaster. Well, no, it's kind of a in through the woods, like not really well worn, but you can see the goblins are anything but subtle. Um, Their passing is marked by broken branches, trampled undergrowth, and even the odd butchered animal here and there. Um, the mission is straightforward. The mayor gave you basically you got to find and kill the goblins that kidnapped the miller's daughter, and if she's alive, return her safely to Green Fork. Um, uh, but eventually, you push your way past an unwelcoming thicket to see that the trees are beginning to thin, and you spot a cliff face up ahead, jutting out from the forest and into the sky. The ground is littered with broken wood and debris, all leading straight toward the rocks ahead, and you know that the goblins are nearby.
Mhm.
As you head forward, you notice an odd swinging shape ahead from the tree branches of a nearby tree. It's hard to identify. It looks like some sort of humanoid-made effigy of a sort. The head of it looks like what looks like to be a sheep's skull, and the body is made of a moss-covered wooden frame. The moss laid in such a way as to be like fleece for the sheep's shoulders, if that makes sense, like a mantle. Um, and behind the head, there's burned sticks that kind of fan out, creating what looks like a halo or maybe like a set of wings, and they kind of clack in the wind.
Knowing Goblin and having spent some time with them, would this be some sort of iconography that's known to me for them? What would I
Um,
roll? History?
I would say give yourself, yeah, a history, or you could go history or nature even.
And
History. No Emmys. 14.
Okay, you know that this is a clan of goblins, and it's a relatively new clan. Um, you only heard about them recently as you're heading into the area, uh, because they don't like exist near your neck of the woods, so to speak. As you guys traveled, you guys, like I said, you're a week away from this Green Fork place. When you traveled here, and you only learned about them on your way in from talking to like maybe a couple local goblins or talking to other townsfolk along the way. But they're known as the Burning Goblins.
would I have seen this before?
Yes, you've seen several of these before. You had no idea that that's what their name is,
Okay.
but yeah, you've seen several of those effigies before,
And the word
similar
that we've
types.
heard, and the word that we've heard is these guys are kind of shitty. Is
The word that you heard is that um, they're basically, um, hold on one second. They're basically some kind of offshoot of another clan or tribe that is kind of just dead set on doing for themselves and stealing and butchering and whatever they can get their hands into.
So they're the
And
ones perpetuating the stereotype in essence.
essentially, yeah, if there's like a stereotype about goblins, these guys are it. Um, and not any of the good stereotypes either. Like not the they're good at tinkering. Like the
These are the baby eaters.
Now eat your baby.
yeah these are the problem children of the
Mhm.
world there.
Give all the other goblins a bad name.
Yeah,
You give goblins a bad name.
yeah.
New song for
And
the
I just start strumming on the lute.
Let's see.
Use the heart.
Okay. Yeah. So, as you near the cliff face, you can see the trees grow increasingly fewer in number. It appears that many have been cut down, cleared in a haphazard and wasteful manner. Like they don't care. Making firewood or making building timber structures or whatever. You can see jagged stumps and fallen trunks littering the ground. Discarded tools are laying around, like axes and picks and that kind of thing. Uh, you can see on the cliff itself an obvious gap in the limestone. It appears to be an entrance to a cave. But you also see posts and sticks surrounding the entrance. Some are covered with feathers, and others have the skulls of small animals attached to the top, similar in fashion to the effigies. Um, it's no doubt that this is where the goblins are, hanging out.
What say you? Should we all sneak in, or do you want to go in loud and proud?
Well, I could do a quick sneaky recon and see what I can see. If you guys want to wait here and keep a lookout.
Also, Maven, why don't you give me another
Yeah.
history check too about the
Sure.
once you learned about the burning goblins, what you might remember about what people had said about them.
I,
There you
I
go.
remember a lot of things.
You remember a lot of things. You remember that essentially you were talking to a guy uh, uh, who's probably lived about a mile out of Green Fork, kind of out in the woods, little hermit type of guy. But he has a buddy that's a goblin that was there with him, and they were sitting there basically playing like a similar game to chess at the time. And they tell you about that the tribe of goblins known as the Burning Goblins was previously called the Rotchews. They gave themselves the new name upon the birth of a dragon. The Burning Ones is what they call themselves. He says beyond that he doesn't really know a lot about whatever, but so that's basically the information that you knew behind that. Sorry, somebody had asked me something
Mhm.
about the cave entrance. Somebody asked me something about the cave entrance.
No, I think we're
Okay.
chit chatting
Okay.
about
Gotcha.
what we were gonna do next.
What we were gonna do if we were gonna go in loud or if we were gonna go in sneaky.
Gotcha.
Well, I could do a sneaky recon and see if I can see anything and report back. If you guys want to, hide out here and keep an eye out.
If you think that's wise.
I think we can.
Well, I am capable of joining you in on that if you need.
If you wish.
Very well.
Yeah.
The loot off. Here. Could you hold this, please, my friend?
We're
It's very good carroted.
sure I could do that.
Oh, I am not sneaky at all. Son of a bitch.
I'll take off the
It's possible I might be able to help. I could sneak in, not like this. And what I'll just do right now is the wild shape into a rat. You
That's
see,
handy.
Bird will just shrink down into a little furry mouse-like rat with
Now that's a handy thing to have around.
two tiny little nubby antlers on the top of it.
It's a jackalope.
Yeah.
It's why I rolled terrible too. Why do they keep doing a black thing? I don't know what the extra D4 is for, but
Hang on one second here.
So, by 2024 rules, you can talk in wild shape. So, is that all right there, Brian?
I'm gonna go with no.
Okay. Okay. So you just hear little squeaks, and I just walk towards the cave entrance and look back like.
All right, so let me put you on this map here, guys, real quick.
Yep.
Just give you some points of reference here. If I figure out where you guys are. Okay, we're looking for Fergal, right? Fergal,
Yeah.
there he is. And
Oh, I've lost
I
the
missed
map.
I missed the token. I missed the token. Yeah. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Why did it not? Hang on. Let me switch back over to that map and copy your guys' tokens. See if this works anyway. Uh-oh. You guys are not on the map. Oh yeah, there you are. Okay. I see where you're at. Let me do copy. And then go over to here. I'll do paste. Does that work? Oh gosh, you're huge. Can you guys see now or no?
Yeah.
Kinda.
I kind of. It looks like, yeah.
You might have to zoom
No.
out. You might have to
By the
zoom
way, I'm
out.
checking to see if rats have dark vision. Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, you might have to zoom out. So Fergal, we're gonna also just assume you're in rat form for this at this point.
Yes.
Like I just put your regular token on the map for the purposes of that.
Yeah. I understood.
At any rate, so yeah, that gives you an idea where you guys are at if you can see the map. You might have to zoom out to see it. All right. Yeah. So depends on how you want to go about this. That's
So I'm just going to be kind of sneaking around here and
okay. You're gonna head
looking.
into the cave, kind of thing, or
Yes.
and are you guys going to let him just head into the cave by himself, kind of like to? Or are you guys gonna go up to the cave, or
Oh, I was gonna just all of us try to sneak in as best as possible. I thought.
okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, you're all gonna go.
That's
and
fine with me. This is the best way I can be.
Go ahead
sneaky,
and
so-
give me stealth checks. Do you know the rat stealth thing there?
Yeah, I'm looking at it here. So it would be. Does it not say on there?
That's better.
Rat does
Oh,
not have a stealth modifier. Oh, interesting.
That's not the wrong thing. Hang on.
So
I
I'll just
forgot
use
I
my
had
own.
advantage on stealth.
There we go.
I don't know what's going on with mine. It keeps showing up just like, oh, 14 plus 3. Apparently I didn't switch that around.
Is that your proficiency?
Is a rat's yeah, it's probably right.
Does not have a stealth modifier, but I guess it's just.
Or dex?
Dang it. Hold on. I was trying to change that to
It did pretty well.
oh, it did. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
I disappear.
That's funny. If a rat and you snuck in, they would see me before you.
And like that, he was
It's like, oh my god, look at that sneaky mouse.
Hold on. Let's try
Which
this.
Which is funny if a goblin is like, oh look, a rat, a meal,
There we go.
takes a bite out of you, turns into a furball in his mouth.
Yeah. That's where I like 2014 rules better.
Yeah.
Can be edited and controlled by. Oh, I don't know your name in here.
Hmm.
Gavin, there you are.
Yeah.
I would say I didn't know what your name was in there, and it's
Oh.
Quantum
Oh, I see.
Bacon. So,
Yes.
okay, all right. So that rat can be controlled by you there.
Oh, cool.
Put you in the woods
Okay.
there. Oh, and give it vision. Make sure it's got vision. It does. It only has I think it only has 30-foot dark vision. But all right.
Yeah,
So
30.
get stealth check for Connor was 8. Is the 4 actually? Is that bless? Or
I have no
guidance.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
think the
guidance.
bless
It's
or the
guidance.
guidance.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Thing.
guidance is checked. All right.
Turn that off.
All right. So Connor is a little bit loud by comparison.
Mm.
And then make a stealth check for the rat.
I did. It is 21.
Oh, I didn't scroll down all the way. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
And Maven gets another 29. I'm getting more and more convinced that those are.
Can't
There
Wait,
was
wait.
there's a look 24 as well because I have advantage.
What's the plus 0? I wonder. Oh, it's a
Plus
10, I
0.
guess. Maybe I don't know. It's like if you mouse over the 29, it says 9. It says 20 plus 9.
That I don't know. Yeah,
And then
I see
29
that.
plus 0.
Unless like there was a bless or something on there that.
Oh, could be. Yeah,
It's a
it could be.
1d4 or
Could be
something.
it could be a bless
Well, that would be one, though.
or not
You get-
a bless, a guidance. Could be guidance is
A
checked.
guidance or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But it wasn't rolled.
All right. So
Yeah, I
Maven,
didn't even look at that.
you're able to go in easily and not get detected and whatever. You notice that as you guys are going in, the cave is small and formed of the same pale brown stone as the cliff face. The dirt floor is clear and unlittered by the debris, and the floor is, and wards that were scattered, unlittered by the debris and wards that are scattered in front of the entrance, like the effigies.
Mhm.
A number of glowing hot coal pits line the edges, and as a result, the air is cloying, chambers hot. There's wisps of smoke flowing through the air. It makes the room kind of difficult to navigate. It's kind of like everything's lightly obscured. To the north, a badly made gate covers an entrance to a tunnel that leads deeper into the cliffside. Next to the gate itself, however, you see 3 goblins gathered, jabbering to each other in their own language. As loud as you were, Connor, they don't seem to notice you. They seem to be arguing. One of them seems to be throwing small shards of wood or rock, maybe, into a nearby fire and grinning while the sparks fly upward, while the others watch on with fascination.
What are they saying?
He's supposed to be over there. They're basically debating whether or not the one is magical because he can make the sparks and stuff fly up from the fire when he throws the wood in like that, and the 2 are telling him he's not magical, and he's definitely insisting he is definitely magical.
I want to fuck with them. I'm gonna find just a little rock and sneak a little bit closer and do a little toss. See if I can toss it into the fire just before he tosses another piece of wood when they're arguing.
Okay.
I'm going to prep the short bow and an arrow, just in case things turn south.
Okay, and are you attempting to throw the rock in there to kind of get it to do the same thing? But
Yeah.
okay.
Just a straight unarmed attack.
Yeah. You can probably get it in the middle of the fire pit fairly easily. Yeah,
15.
that'll do it.
Mhm.
So you toss a rock in there. It pops right as he's getting ready to throw the wood in, and he says, you can see him go, aha! And he turns to his friends and he's like, see, me told you I was magical. I didn't even have to throw it this time. And they're like, you're crazy. Just fire does that.
And now that they're thoroughly distracted, I want to try to sneak down into that hall.
That
past
cave
them.
behind him? Okay, there is a door behind him, like a makeshift gate.
Yeah. Is it
Gate
does it-
behind the fire there.
Yeah, behind where they're standing. Yeah. So
Does
here, let
it,
me move you
does it
guys up here, and then
So
does it
kind
appear
of.
to be locked?
show
I'm gonna
you
try
where
to
they're
sneak
at.
through there with him. Yeah.
It doesn't appear to be locked, and it appears to be that like the mouse rat whatever could easily find his way through there. Like there's plenty of gap, um,
Yeah.
and you might be able to shimmy past the gate itself, but you probably wouldn't be able to do so without being noticed. You'd actually have a better chance of opening the gate to not be noticed. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
All right. I'm
Yeah.
going to, uh, since the rock thing worked the first time, I'm going to sneak around so I am right next to the door.
All right.
And just as he's going to keep doing it, I'm assuming, because now he thinks he's complete magic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna toss and push at the same time. So I'm gonna push the door open, toss the rock, and then just sneak around the corner, right around here.
And while he's doing that, I'll try to sneak through there
Okay.
and
And
go
then
through the
and then
door as
Connor,
well.
when you fumble and regain your footing, well, you didn't fumble, but like when you kind of regain your footing after you realize you're being a little bit louder than you had wanted to be, are you going to try to go and sneak in with them again, like through the other side, or
I'm gonna let them go ahead and wait
okay,
till I'm out of sight of them, and then
okay,
I'm going to make myself look like a bugbear
okay,
with my action.
all right,
I'm gonna have the bow around my, just put the bow back around in the quiver, and I'm just going to walk on by them and just like just
Oh,
snuff them away.
okay. So you make yourself slightly bigger. You make yourself, like slightly broader shoulder. Turn into like looking like a bugbear. You
Yeah,
walk by them. Are you going to say or do anything when you walk past them?
I'm just grunting and trying to like push them away, like get them to move out of the way.
Okay. Uh, you do that. You notice they very very much notice you. Uh, and
we go opposite.
one of them who can speak Goblin, just Maven.
Me.
Okay, one of them shouts something at you, and then you see the other one like it's the one that was doing the magical trick. He shouts something at you, and you can see the other one just kind of like whack him like really hard. It's like just right in the chest, like whack, like and and he shuts right up, like. But Maven on the other side of the gate, you can hear him say, you hear the guy say, "Hey," like that, and then you hear whack, and then you hear, "Shut up! He's a bugbear. Are you crazy?"
And I'm going to like with my hand, because I assume Maven can see me. I'm going to in thieves like sign language thieves can't be like yell them, tell them to move, and I'm going to match my lips to your voice.
In Goblin, I say,
Okay.
And I'll try and match it as timing it.
Okay. You hear Maven. You hear them say, "Oh, no problem, cousin." And you see them like just kind of scatter out of the way. Um, and allow you to walk past them, no problem.
I open the gate, shut it behind me, take a few more steps till we're out of sight of them.
And I will
I'm
say,
looking there.
give me a performance check to at advantage.
Oh, it's
Because
probably advantage.
they're already scared. Yeah, they totally buy it. Even though your lip alignment was probably not perfect, they totally buy it just because they're totally scared that the idea that you're a much bigger goblinoid than they are, and that you're probably there for a reason.
24 is my performance check.
And it's a way above their pay grade to figure out what that reason is. So, but, yeah, well, your first one would be 17, but yeah. So, oh yeah, that's advantage. Okay,
Oh,
24. Yeah, advantage.
yeah, I
Yep,
didn't.
yep.
I,
Okay.
yeah, I need to
Yep,
change
yep.
that around.
So 15 and 24. Okay, good deal. All right, so you guys are traveling through the caves. You guys see basically where you're at is like what looks like a storage tunnel. There's a gate filled with the storage tunnel from the gate is filled with like sacks, rotten crates, heaps of rubbish, some rotted vegetation inside like opened crates, uh, animal hides, badly skinned animal hides, mind you. Um, Heaps of plant matter decomposing. It's pretty. It smells pretty awful, and here and there you can see the torches are lit with nasty smelling tar that illuminates the way forward.
Hmm.
I didn't mean to. I think he's there on accident. There. Who is this? What is that? I have somebody on the. I have somebody on the map that isn't on the map. It's so weird.
We've got an interloper.
Yeah. All right. So it must be on the GM layer. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, that's gone.
Okay. I'm gonna keep.
Yeah,
Just-
I'm gonna keep moving. Stay along the.
Yeah,
Stay
just I'm gonna
along
be
the
along the
walls.
walls, just like a rat would.
Okay. Okay. You come up to eventually you come up to an open cave, like a what appears to be some sort of sleeping chamber. You see cots, makeshift cots and like bed pallets, all over the walls and floor, in nooks and crannies along the wall, filled with dried grass, like rough-looking reed mats. The center, and some furs. The center, there's a huge fire burning, surrounded by rocks and the remains of burnt animal carcasses and bones. The area seems mostly empty despite the large number of beds, and the sole occupant of the room, aside from you, is a small, frail-looking goblin next to the fire, who seems to be cooking something. He has his back towards you, and a strange-looking dog lies near his feet. By strange-looking, the dog seems to have 8 insectoid-like legs, and they're kind of curled up beneath it. There's also an eastern passage out, and and a small tunnel leading to this. There's a small tunnel leading out south and east, and a larger tunnel leading out to the north. I take that back. The
see-
smaller tunnel is to the north, and the larger tunnel is to the east. Sorry.
Gotcha. Do I see at all anything that could be shaped like a little child?
You
in here?
don't. No, you don't.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me those stealth checks again, if you want to be stealthy still.
Oh my gosh. Good thing I'm still looking like a bugbear.
Good
Yeah,
thing
this
there's
one was
probably a
this
bunch of
one.
other rats around here too, so maybe they won't notice.
Here you go. This is the little old man.
Look at that guy.
Little old man goblin. Okay, so let's see, what was that? 7 stealth check. Oh yeah. Oh, but
On that one, I got.
okay, you can see. Oh, you made a nat one too. Okay, so yeah, both of you did well. Okay, Connor, you hear the old man up there. He says, "Well, you might as well come out of the shadows now and come over and grab yourself something to eat." He says, "I don't know why you're here, but I'm sure it has something to do with that little girl."
I'm just
I'll
gonna
walk
keep,
up and
I'm just gonna keep walking around the wall and acting like a normal rat.
Okay.
I'll go about here. I'll stay like 10 feet away from him.
When you get closer to him, he says, "You should catch that rat and give it to my dog for dinner."
The rat can stay the way it is. Yes, I am looking for little girl.
He says, "That doesn't matter. If Dibbles was hungry enough, He'd go eat it himself. And
Rat is shaking.
he says he says you sound strange. He says, but the little girl is down over that way, and he points to this cave, uh, where you don't see Maven heading because Maven barely sees himself at this point. But
I can't see my hands and they're in front of my face.
It's just magic.
Why was little girl taken?
he says, them younger goblins. He says, and hell, many in this group actually. Many of them are idiots. He says, what can I say? They're not so transfixed on learning, for sure. He says, rude of me. I'm not used to surface dweller ways. I am Haycrisp, and this is my dog Dibbles.
Hello, Hagrid and Gibbles. I am Targoth.
Pargoth, what brings you here looking for the little girl? He says, you don't mean to eat her, do you?
Oh, I know eat. I know eat people. That's not good. What I do know is that I have heard that your clan had been making bad waves around village.
He says, oh, it's
And
not
so-
my clan, but he says, not Rot Juice anymore. It's led by someone named Rot Nose, and he thinks it's his clan now, and, well, he's not far from right.
Well, at rate it's going, village gonna do something about the clan.
He says,
Be
yes.
making themselves seem too what word I think of? Too noticeable.
Obvious.
Yes. Thank you.
So he says, yes, I am aware. He says, I know how people can be. He says, I can't really do much about it, but he says they don't want to come here, and if you talk to them, you better tell them that they don't want to come here. And
Oh, I not want to stop them. I just want to get little girl so that they won't come here.
he says, well, you have to take that up with Ragmaw. And Maven, just as you're coming around that corner there, you see a large cavern filled with the overbearing scent of burnt meat, and the air thick with smoke and hot on the skin. Lying in the center of the floor is a green-scaled creature. Its body is longer than 2 full-grown men. Smoke rises from its green nostrils, and its eyes are deep gold in color. They flick back and forward, surveying the area with the restless edge of a beast that spent too long inside. The creature here is clearly a dragon, and although impressive in size, it seems young and excitable. Around him, a circle of fires burns softly, giving the huge chamber an eerie orange glow. In the northeast corner, you can see a girl, young, about the age, maybe 7 or 8, bound to a rock and crying softly.
Good.
And then back to Connor and the rat. He did mention that they'll have to deal with Ragmaw.
Anything you can tell me about Ragma?
He says, well, yes, he's the dragon that's slowly taking a root in this cave. Or rather
You just
quickly,
hear-
as a matter of fact.
Involuntary squeak of terror. He knows what dragons are.
You made me ink.
A little pellet pops out.
Any suggestion on how to best deal with him?
And he says, I would imagine just being straightforward is the best course of action for almost anything. He says, unless you're dealing with these idiots, and he kind of like points to the empty, sleeping mats.
A wise goblin.
Well,
It's the
thank
gray
you
hair.
very much. I will go and speak with him now.
He says, okay, but I don't think that disguise of yours is going to hold up under scrutiny. He says, you've got the tongue all wrong.
Not obvious, eh, old man?
He says, well, I mean, you look the part, but you don't sound like a goblin. You don't sound like a bugbear.
I haven't been around enough to overhear them.
He says, he says, that's much more natural.
Or is it?
He says, it seems so. Uh, he says, you do sound gruff like a bugbear. He says, you do sound that matches. Like, because you would know as a channeling too, like, basically all your, like, vocal stuff, and, you would sound, and you'd be indistinguishable normally from that other
Mhm.
creature. You can just tell that this guy's really old, really kind of smart, kind of wise, and been around the block too many times. Like,
Some stuff.
Yeah.
Would it be enough to fool the dragon in that?
he says, I don't think so. He's maybe. It will be enough if you stay quiet enough. But he's not been around many bugbears either, so it could be.
Well,
He's relatively
sounds
young.
speed-
You wouldn't believe how young he is for what he looks like. He's a monstrosity, I tell you. And he kind of goes back to the fire and cooking and, like, eating something off the stick that he's cooked.
Hopefully it's not a rat.
It's a rat.
Thank you for the information.
Just staring you down, taking a bite.
You're next, my young friend. You're next. And he's pointing at the rat on the ground.
This guy aimlessly looking around, pretending like I don't hear anything.
All right, so Maven, you see this dragon sitting upon a pile of a small treasure hoard. Any ideas? What's running through Maven's head when he sees this?
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Oh shit. Where's Connor? Where's Connor? Where's Connor?
As I start running, coming around the corner, still looking like a bugbear.
I notice you and I stick a hand out to, behind me to make myself visible to you.
I stop like 1 foot, just like see the dragon and rip around the corner a little, back to it. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, what is Maven thinking?
There he is.
We went from a goblin to a dragon. Awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys wait for. Or do you wait for everybody to get caught up to you, kind of thing? Is that what you're?
Kind of, and I stick a hand out and I start gesturing, and I heard you talking. What found out?
Okay, it's kind of like you see this hand like just like materialize from the shadows, and you're like almost startled by it a second, and then you realize it's Maven. And he was just so stealthy that you couldn't really see where he had went, and his hand is he's in such a good hiding place now that only his hand reveals the rest of him. Kind of like he kind of puts his hand out, it kind of comes out of nowhere, and then you can kind of like make out the rest of his shadow aligned against the shadow of the cave wall.
Right, I'm gonna try and sneak up to behind him to avoid the dragon catching wind of him.
Okay. Give me that stealth check.
Let's please be better than the last one. Please be
The
better
last
than the last
two.
one. That's all I
Big money, no whammies.
Better
Big
than the
money,
last
no
two.
whammies. Big money, no whammies.
Oh.
And
I'm gonna be sneaking up along the other wall, just
Why
kind of
couldn't it have been the 23?
right.
along the wall, and then I'll do a stealth check too,
Okay.
just to.
All right. You can have an advantage on stealth check because you're small.
Yeah. Okay.
But Connor, you stumble over a rock and kick it into the chamber, and are not stealthy at all. And and you hear the dragon from within the cave. You think it's the dragon. You think you hear him go.
Well. So, yeah, thank God for advantage there.
I'll thief cant with my hand to Raven. I'm gonna try something stupid. And when you see him distracted by me, get her out as quietly as possible.
so when he moves forward, when I'm assuming he's gonna do something stupid, I'll sneak over to over here so I can sneak along the wall.
Okay.
I'll start walking up and just.
And I didn't see or understand anything they said, so I'm just
Right.
gonna continue just sneaking along with them.
Continue ratting along.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's this this rock up in the top right. Is that correct?
Yeah, top right.
That's
Yeah.
where the girl is. Okay.
Yeah.
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 Alright, so I'm gonna sneak
For
around
some reason I don't
all
have
the
her
way
there,
around.
but here
That's
Yeah.
fine.
let me find
But
a
I'm gonna
commoner.
sneak all the way around.
It's of the mind.
Still looking like the bugbear right now. Excuse me. I have come with news for you that I think that you might want to know about.
He says, "Well, explains why you're so clumsy."
Yeah, not from here, not know it very well. I'll start like walking around as I'm talking to him.
Give me that.
So-
Made the whole circle around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give me that. Give me that. Did you do a stealth check too already?
No, I'm doing it right now.
Give me a stealth check.
Mine was 22. Ooh.
Thank God
Nice.
for advantage.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what do you explain to him now? That's your.
So as I'm walking and talking, I'm trying to get his gaze
Okay.
to come towards this way.
Yeah.
Since I think I can see the little girl, and I know like their best path to get out is that direction so far.
Yeah.
So the villagers are quite angry with the goblins here because of the little girl that was taken. They have also been getting very restless about the livestock being taken.
He says, "Yes."
I only
yes.
come to inform you that they may be going to hire some people to take care of your tribe if you're not careful.
He says, "Well, I'm not sure how it came to be that a bugbear is talking with villagers." He says, "But let them come." He says, "I'm growing weary of being cooped up in this cave anyway." He
About
says,
how big is this dragon again?
15 feet long.
Okay.
Why? Why are
He
you
says,
in cave anyway?
he says, well, you know, I must live somewhere. And he says, as for the girl, I don't know what those idiots got me into. He says, I guess it was fear of me eating them or placation. She's like, she certainly would be more entertaining than they are if she talked. And you can, Maven, you can clearly see the girl is frightened and not going to talk to this dragon in any way, shape, or form anytime soon. He says, I'll tell you what, though. If you want to take her, you are welcome to. However, let's play a game, shall we?
What game are you thinking of?
He says, well, I don't really know. I thought maybe you could come up with something that would entertain me. And
Well, you don't.
perhaps we could play a game that would be worthy of entertainment, and I could give you the girl as a reward, and plus, you know, she's not very entertaining, just sitting over there in the dark, doing nothing.
Well,
Although I have
can-
her chained because she's tried to run twice, and clearly that would not be good, and she would probably be dead in the woods if she had left.
And that's what.
So you have no intention of eating her or harming her?
He says, I suppose if I got hungry enough, and I do tire of goblin meat, but there are plenty to go around. He says, they bring me deer and sheep. He says, what do I need to eat a human
You hear the
girl?
squeak of deer.
He says, what do I need to eat a human girl? He says, I might as well be eating the rats. And he looks over and sees you, and he's like no, I think I'll pass.
One little poop pellet squeezed out.
So you just want to be
Smells very
entertained,
good.
and then I can take her?
And he says, yes, that sounds like a reasonable request to me. Does it not to
Older
you?
cheers portrait.
Okay. I am going to do a little magic trick. Okay?
As
This is how I can hear things within villages and stuff.
Okay, as you are telling him this, you notice he's a green dragon, but you notice he leans over and he breathes fire on like one of the fires, and you know, like reignites it.
Interesting.
That's not good.
No.
That is different. From what I know of dragons, green ones do not use fire.
Is your mama red?
He says this is true. I have heard this also.
So
He
you
says-
are very special.
He says that is what they tell me. He says I'm feeling a bit more special than I probably should. He says, but I'm very young, you know. I'm still learning.
Have you been treated different because of it?
Yes, they pretty much worship me, but that's
Yeah.
I think that's in the nature of goblins to do so to such large and ferocious creatures. He says, although I am much younger than one that anyone would be worshipping normally. He says, you see, I'm only 50 years old. Do you guys all at hearing that could do a nature or
Yeah.
arcana or survival check
Okay.
and see how much you know about dragons. And if any of you
Oh,
speak draconic, you can have advantage on this check.
Nope, I know nothing.
Nope.
I rolled a 4.
Okay,
I know Squadoosh.
so Dustin Connor would think that seems a little young for a dragon to be that big. And Maven, Maven, you think about the same thing.
Nat 20.
And Fergal, even though you're in rat form right now, your mind just about explodes because this dragon shouldn't even be considered like more than a wormling
Mm-hmm.
at age
Would it-
50.
Would it trigger something? Up until very recently, his village has been in the Feywild. Would there be anything that would make it seem different that way, or just
Yeah,
a
you remember how a dragon egg was stolen from the Feywild by a group of kobolds,
mm, okay?
and you figure that this has something to do with that dragon egg.
Oh,
Okay, but I can entertain you, but I'm not very good at doing games. And then I'll revert back to what I normally look like, and I'll pull out the loot. But I can try to entertain you with a story as I like strum the loot.
He says
That'd be it.
that seems a fair trade.
Yeah.
So you
Use my background
give
as
me that.
entertainer, storyteller.
There you go. You can give me a performance check.
Yes.
And let's see performance. Okay.
This is with the loot that I am proficient with. So
All right. Let's see. We're gonna do this. Not at advantage though, but I accidentally rolled at advantage like I do. All right. So okay. He seems to enjoy it pretty well, and you can kind of see him swaying his head. Maven, in the meantime, are you going to unchain the girl? She has got a manacle like on both hands. She could
Yep, I was
probably
doing.
be slipped out of them, but you could
Yeah, I
also
had
try to.
rolled. Well, while they were doing that, I had rolled that fast hand, sleight of hand to use my thieves' tools to unlock the.
All right, go ahead and give me a lock picking check. Thieves tools.
Oh, I did 27. Whoops.
No, no, it'd be well, okay, so that'd be the same score then, is what you're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, it's the
Okay,
same
so
thing.
yeah, okay, so the sleight of hand check's actually a lock picking check. Okay,
Lockpick, correct.
okay, okay, so they just pop off, you know, you know, and since you're doing sleight of hand, you know, quietly, you know, quickly, and uh, you hear when she sees you, she kind of starts, but you hear her like kind of like do a little bit of a whimper yip type of thing when you know pop the the cuffs off her or the manacles off her. Okay, then she's quiet, but you can see when you grab on like you know grab her by the hand or whatever, or put your hand out for hers, you can see she's visibly shaken. You
Mm-hmm.
can see she's scared. Um, and yeah, so
I'll take her
I'm,
hand in mine and I will stroke it softly
okay,
and and stare at her intently and just do this.
okay. She just kind of nods, you know, like she's just
Mhm.
at the same time, Fergal will. He's a cute little mouse-looking rat with a little nub antlers. Will be just kind of like doing this.
you can hear like she whimpers a little, like she's like trying to be quiet, but you can hear her. She's like she's visibly shaken and scared, and you hear you see the dragon. You all see the dragon, and you hear the dragon say to Connor, uh, "Play louder. I tire of her whimpering."
And I do so
Doesn't even seem to
And bang,
notice you guys back
bang it
there.
out.
to the point like I'm starting to like switch from a story to like playing Bon Jovi or something.
So
Yeah,
as so as luck would have it, you know the fact that she's been whimpering this whole time is on your side, Maven, because obviously now that it's louder, you guys have stealth checks at advantage.
Do I get double
So
advantage?
you get advantage plus one. Remember, so this is it's
That's
advantage
right.
plus one. Yep. So that's what we do the
Okay.
soft stacking is. Yep.
Yep.
yeah.
So I am going to. How big is she? She's not very big. I'm assuming she's pretty.
And if you're going to give her the help action, because I'm assuming you're going to help her be stealthy, then she will also have advantage plus one.
Well, I was thinking of carrying her.
Carrying her? Okay. So, yeah, so she
Yeah.
makes less noise. Yep. Okay. Perfect.
Yep. So I'll just pick her up and like cradle, and have her head on my shoulder.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Okay. And we will We will do sneaky sneaky.
Okay, and are you gonna head out behind them?
I'm doing the
N-
exact same way that I came in, so I'm gonna go back around,
okay, I meant
up and around.
Gavin. Is Fergal
Yes.
gonna head out behind Maven and the girl, or is he going to straggle behind and wait for Connor to get out?
Um, he is going to make his way along this side and make it down here to
Go
see if he
around
can.
that way. Okay.
Yes.
So
Okay.
pick up the girl, and then we're gonna go this way.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna go back the way you came, basically. Okay.
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
Yeah, I didn't make it so
I
you
feel
can
like
move.
if I
Right.
fail a stealth check or something, he'll see a rat making noise and not look behind.
All right. So yeah. So you guys do that. You play for the entire time, Connor.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. You basically you barely even see like when Maven like takes the girl. You see that happen, but when he kind of fades back into the shadows, you barely even see him. You can kind of like note some movement. It's almost like when you see movement out of the corner of your eye, you can kind of note some movement along the back wall. But other than that, he's like all but like a shadow, even with the girl. You know. Um,
And while we're back here, I'll just take a beat, let her collect herself a little bit, and then continue on.
Okay. When you guys get around to like here, like when you guys get over to this area over here, and you're passing into the smaller cavern, the smaller tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Connor, you catch a glimpse of him in the light as he's sneaking by like quickly, and you kind of you kind of know that that's kind of a cue. Um, you don't see the rat anywhere. You imagine that it is gotten around somewhere. Probably Gavin, you'd probably be over here by now, or like coming up close to it, because I imagine you've been moving a little bit faster probably than.
Yeah.
But I'll walk and play and keep his attention towards me and away from the tunnel.
Okay. So he says, uh, when you get done playing, uh, he takes us to front, hands, claws, and claps, and he says, now that is much more entertaining.
Well, I appreciate your honesty.
He says,
Never played for a dragon before, and
That's
honestly,
what a
I
humble
quite
brag
enjoyed
against
it.
a dragon.
he
I
says,
quite enjoyed it.
however, there seems to be something of a problem.
What is that problem?
He says, I'm not sure if it was you or how it was done, but I don't hear the whimpering.
Well,
That you're gonna hear like a little squeaky whimpering from a rat.
well, I'm going to be honest with you, because you've been honest with me. This is what I am. And we were sent here, me and a companion or two of mine, to retrieve the girl.
He says, well, I
Initially-
guess. He says, I guess the offer was for the girl, correct? The entertainment for the girl?
It kind of played out that way. I was not, I was as shocked as you were with the whole endeavor. One of my companions snuck in and got her to get out while I played for you. But it turned from me distracting you into me rather enjoying playing for a dragon, to be honest. So it was more of a treat for both of us in the end.
He says, well, I guess I should be mad that you played a trick on me. He says, but in fairness, it was a good performance, and I did agree to let her go. He says, I guess it doesn't matter how you got her out.
I'll make another deal.
Although I am very curious. He says, but I will tell you this. He says, no entertainer worth his salt should get just a freebie trade. So here, and he reaches down into the pile and he grabs something in his claws and he sets it out in front of you. And when he sets it out in front of you, you notice that there are 7 gems, look like tiger eyes.
7 tiger eye gems.
And he says,
Okay.
but please take that rat with you.
Oh, I most certainly will be rid of this thing out of your graciousness.
He says, usually when I find them here, I eat them. He says, and although I don't know where you're at currently, I can smell you and hear you.
That's it. If I was that rat, I would be getting out of here as quickly as possible.
It smells a little more rat poop as I move along.
He says, go ahead. No,
I'll collect the tiger gem eyes.
Okay. All right. So you collect the tiger gem eyes. When you guys get back to the when Maven, when you come back to the main area here with the girl and the rat, Hey Crisp says, "Oh, thank goodness." He says, "I'm so glad that you got that girl. Please get her safely home because, well, the idiots thought they could feed her to the dragon. Imagine." He says, Ragmar's a different sort. He's not even. He's like, I'm not sure if he's a green dragon or a red dragon or just different. He says, but there's no way he should be 150 years in the span of few months.
But the little rat is going to be nodding frantically.
Hey, Kirsten notices, and he says, "You see my point." And then he goes, and then you see him go. Never mind. I'm talking to a rat now. I'm going back to eating my food. He turns back around.
Yeah.
So you guys go out. You guys make it. You make your way back to the village. You talk with the mayor and the miller and his wife, and they're happy to see Claire, their daughter. And once you guys start going through the woods, Claire opens up a little bit and starts talking to you. You're taking me home now, and that kind of thing. And
I'm no longer a rat now, by the way.
yeah. And then she wonders about the bugbear following you guys, and this kind of thing, and so you guys, you turn back into a human before you go into town, Connor, or before you leave the cave.
One in front of the dragon.
Oh, in front of the dragon. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I turned back into one and was like, I said, this is how I can go in and out of villages to gather information. I was being honest with him about all that part. And then I would say before I leave, I tell him, you know what, anytime that I pass through here, I will gladly come in and play you a tune and give you a new story that I find along my way.
He says, then I will gladly pay you. He says, if you send other entertainers, please tell them to be wary of the idiots.
Yeah, I was just going to ask if you maybe keep them on a tighter leash if you can. If they worship you, they may listen to you a little better.
He says, yes, that's true. He says, but the rot-nosed fellow, the rot-nosed fellow, he is a bit of a problem. And of course, if I eliminate the problem, then I create a power vacuum.
I see. He
says, perhaps I could do it, though.
Would I have heard this conversation while I was sneaking out at the time?
Maybe.
Okay.
So So you guys finish up your conversation. You make your way back to the thing, and the mayor's gladly giving you 50 gold. The miller and his wife are just overjoyed to uh, see their daughter. Looks like they haven't slept for like 2 days, and they're gonna go home and get some rest and that kind of thing. And Toftir offers you to put you up for another night, um, courtesy of you know the mayor and that and courtesy of finding the little girl. He says now that you have a little extra coin in your pocket, perhaps you could buy your meals though. So, and
I would ask him. I would gladly give him a coin to get some more of the fire grog.
okay, yeah, yeah, and so we will definitely do that, and then and that is how it rolls, pretty much. So that's what it.
Yeah.
So that's what's up with that.
That's awesome.
Nope.
All right,
Thanks.
and we're going to. Oh no! All right, so we're gonna hop out, and we're gonna bid you adieu. And I have an intro and an outro that I do here. You guys should be hearing this a lot because I do it. So let me do the outro at least because
we have production value and we're going to use it. Damn it.
yeah, that's the word.
Right.
Production value. That's that thing. That's a thing. I don't know where it is, but yeah. So it's
I'm glad it didn't blow away during all this.
yeah. Oh goodness.
I will say that the actual map didn't show up on the stream at all.
Oh yeah. I know that. Yep, I knew that. And I haven't decided whether or not like being a role play heavy. I don't know how much map we're going to throw in there. Probably a good idea to throw for the actual campaign. Like generally speaking, I do have maps on there and stuff, but I don't know 100% how much I'm going to do.
Probably
that yet.
good for people to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
A little extra visual.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm
That
trying
was
to-
Charmed a Dragon, man. Pretty good.
Without trying to get in bed with it.
Yeah.
right.
For once.
All right, so
Okay.
that's the end of audition one of the new campaign. We're gonna do an impromptu audition tomorrow, although some people have dropped out of that already, so I'm not 100% sure whether we're gonna do that or not yet, but I think we are. And then our next scheduled audition is Wednesday night. And the outro goes like this. Thanks for joining us here on Action Surge, folks, where imagination collides with the roll of the dice. We battled fearsome foes, forged unforgettable memories together, and as this session draws to a close, remember, the journey never truly ends. Keep rolling those dice and weaving those tales. Farewell, and don't forget to check out Action Surge 5e on all the platforms, including Twitter, Facebook, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon, etc., YouTube. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe and share. And until next time, may all your actions surge. And then
Right.
there we go to intro credits or outro credits. It's the same.
Gather round, adventurers bold in the realm where tales unfold. The podcast of heroes, a quest divine, where imagination takes flight. Let's combine. Roll the dice, let the story begin. Monsters and magic, the battles within. From dragons to dungeons, a thrilling ride. Action Surge podcast where legends collide. Action Surge, it's time to